This is cool. I want to thank you, Pat, so much for the invitation, for everything that you've done. I feel truly honored. And I'm going to start off by explaining the honor a little bit. I truly believe that in order to get somewhere special in life, the number one ingredient is a spark. Is something to like make you drive there. And Chris nailed it. You know, we're around a bunch of really great people, fortunately, that our dad put us around. But growing up in Tucson, I sit here and I can tell you guys, there's a lot of people here that were my spark. And George Arias is back there. He doesn't really know it too much because I broke his season home run record at Arizona. But he was a spark for me when he did it in 1993, and I'm 13 years old watching the Arizona Wildcats play. Jerry Kindle, right here, the legend Jerry Kindle. He made Arizona baseball the best program in the country. And wanting to be a Wildcat made me want to get better every single day. So he doesn't know it, but he's something. Lynn Anderson, what he did at Pima, his reputation in town in baseball, something that made me special. Greg Hansen, as many articles he's written about me. I got it. Thank you, Greg. You gave me motivation to get one more. Everybody in this room, you were a part of our career. It was that spark. But then it goes to the process, getting there. And Chris is right. I'm going to talk about playing with your friends, Little League. Little League was the best time of my life. I remember coming back in after I'm playing with the Yankees in 2008, 2009, and somebody's asking me, what's the best moment in your baseball career? And I honestly go back to Little League. I go back to the group I played with. And I'm going to tell you a little funny story. This is about the relationships you build when you're younger and how special they are. This one has to do with high school. Every single summer, we were part of a high school team that would hop in our cars and drive up to Farmington, New Mexico, and play in a tournament. I drove a Suburban, fit 7 people in it, and we'd always pile it up and take the 7-hour trek up there. We stopped somewhere in Globe, I think it was, and somebody had a fake ID, and they went in and loaded up the cooler in the back with some beers. We wanted to have a good time in Farmington. This is about relationship building, right? I'm not talking about bad behavior. All right, so we're driving up there. Somehow we get pulled over. I'm the one driving. I'm sweating bullets. Oh, God. The guy says, somebody was driving by your car and said you guys litters. Somebody said you threw something out the window, so I need to, figure out what's going on. So he's searching the car. He goes out to the back. He sees the cooler. Oh, no. Next thing you know, he comes up to the front, starts talking to me. Well, fortunately, right away, one of our coaches, Scotty Locks and Renee Barriga, they come up behind. Thank God Renee is a police officer, so he knows how to deal with this guy, and they start talking. So they start talking. The officer, he's serious, but they go back to the back. He starts dumping out all the beers one by one. I guess Scotty and Renee told the police officer, hey, let these guys go. They're good guys. I'll take care of it. I promise you. I'll take care of it. I'll give them a good punishment. They'll learn from this. So this is the number one lesson I learned from Scotty Locks right there. He comes up to the front, angry. He goes, you idiots. You don't understand. You put the beer at the bottom of the cooler. It's about stories, all right? I say that because it's about stories. It's about relationships when you're younger. It's about being in an environment where the coaches and your parents want you to have fun. It's not about winning or losing. It's not about going out there and getting a scholarship. It really is about relationships. We drove each other. Me and Chris are lucky enough that we had the ability and the breaks to go our way to make it to the big leagues. There's a lot of people out there that don't get the breaks, that don't have the ability. But they build relationships, they build work ethic, they build discipline, and they learn teamwork. So I want to thank every single one of my teammates over my career, from Little League on up, because I wouldn't be the man I am today. I wouldn't have made it to the big leagues. I wouldn't have done anything without them, because they truly pushed me every single day to make me a better baseball player. They pushed me every single day to be better, to win with them, to develop relationships, to be a leader, and I thank them. They still make me better to this day. I go to CDO High School. Phil Wright was our head coach. He allowed us that. He's the one that first started teaching us about winning, teaching us about competition, getting us locked in, focused on discipline. I go to University of Arizona, And I have the best hitting coach in the country in Jerry Stitt. And Robbie was talking about him. And Robbie, you're exactly right. I would have never been the hitter I am today, or I was before I retired, without Coach Stitt. Coach Stitt is an absolute genius. He still is, in my mind, the best hitting coach in the nation. There's stuff I pass on to my players right now. I'm a minor league manager. I still pass on, that I learned from Coach Stitt. So from the bottom of my heart, you're always with me in everything I do in baseball, and I want to thank you for that. Pro ball is 6 years in the minor leagues, and I made it to the big leagues, and it's all about battling adversity. And if you think about that, that's a different story. But my dad and my brother and my mom were the three people in my life that inspired me through every little tough time in the minor leagues that I had, every tough time in life. My dad is the man. He's the wisdom. He taught me how to play the game, how to work hard. He put me in every right situation. He guided me. He still does to this day. He's an absolute genius with not just baseball, but life and everything, and I am so thankful to have him as my father. My mom, when I was putting together the collage, which is the most bootleg collage in here, I'm like, can curse. Golly, that's beautiful. Mine's awful. But my mom, it was amazing. She took every single one of these pictures. She kept them all for us. I have collages she did. She was the #1 supporter in my life. She picked me up when she was down, and she drove me when I needed it. She passed away a couple of years ago, and I miss her every single day. And I wish more than anything that she'd be able to be at any moment, because she'd be up and down screaming. And when I was little, I'd be so embarrassed when I'd be walking up to the bat. I'm walking up the bat, and you have your mom. Woo! Everybody else is quiet. It's my mom. But I can't tell you how, proud I am that she was my mom. And then my brother, he's talking about how I was always a year older than him, and he's always working hard. Chris was the hardest worker that I've ever known. He still is the hardest worker in the world. His drive and his work ethic to be better every single day made me to want to be better every single day. He made it to the big leagues before I did, and there was this anger and fuel inside me that, now I need to get going. He drives me. Still to this day, Chris battled a brain tumor a couple years ago. He had it removed, and he's living a great life right now. And what he's doing with his life, not only that, is the most inspirational thing in the world. He lives life perfectly. He's focused. He's goal-oriented. He's dream-oriented. He snaps me into the right place when I need to. And I look up at him more than you could ever imagine. So, you're the man. So, thank you. And when it all goes back down to it, for all you parents out there and everything, remember, these kids, let them build their relationships, have fun. Then they'll get on the path and they fall in love with what they want to do. And then you have people like Coach Stitt and other leaders come and play and take them to the next level. And I want to thank all of you all. So thank you very much.